Chapter 12. I think we could all do this, the three of us, together. 11th grade. Yo, Ramik, you still gonna try out for the baseball team? George asked. He and Samson had played on the school's team since ninth grade. George played first base while Samson played shortstop and pitcher. Yeah, man, how hard can it be to out hit the two of you? Ramik replied with his usual grin. Rameek, somehow, had never played much baseball while he was a kid, but he was strong and athletic and figured he could learn just about any sport. Come to batting practice after school, and we'll make you eat that bat for dinner, Samson joked. By this time, Samson had developed into a skillful, potentially professional baseball player. He was the captain of the baseball team at university and could almost touch his dreams of playing in the major leagues. He often had write ups in the local paper, highlighting his playing performance. Davis goes 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs while pitching a four-hitter at university, as university topped Shabazz 6-5. He knew if he really worked at it that he could get a baseball scholarship. The three friends drove to a park that had batting cages and pitching machines that tossed the balls to the batter automatically. Ramik took his place, ready to bat. Keep your hands together, Ramik shouted from the other side of the fence. Bend your knees a little, Samson offered. I've watched the Yankees for years, Ramik said, ignoring both of them. Baseball is easy. The machine pitched the first ball. Ramik swung with a powerful twist. He missed. The second ball erupted from the machine. Ramik swung again. He missed it by a mile. A third ball came. He swung and missed that one too. The balls kept coming. Ramik kept swinging and missing. George and Samson, rolling with laughter, tried to offer suggestions at first to help him hit at least one of the balls. Finally, they gave up trying to help and just sat down on the ground, doubled over in laughter. The machine finally ran out of the balls, and Ramik stopped swinging. He looked at his friends, tossed the bat away, and had no choice but to laugh with them. When Samson and George could catch their breath and had stopped their uncontrollable giggling, Ramik said, Forget this. I'm better at playing girls than baseball any day. I think I'll just stick to what I know. Well, I hope you don't strike out with girls as many times as you struck out today, George said. That got them started again, and they laughed all the way home. Sitting in Samson's car later that night, the three of them got to talking about their futures, as they found themselves doing many times. We're almost out of this prison cell they call high school, Ramik said jokingly. It's not so bad, George said. Some of the teachers are too easy, and some just don't care, but it's basically cool with me. What you gotta do when you graduate now that you're not getting kicked out? Samson asked Ramik. Well, I know Mrs. Silverstring would never believe it, but I'd really like to be a teacher, Ramik admitted. So kids not even born yet can do to you what you did to our teachers? Samson asked with a laugh. Ramik sighed. No, 'cause I know what it's like to be a kid who needs more, but doesn't know how to ask for it. Only a few teachers know how to reach out to kids like me. I could do that. You're right, man, George said, but I don't want to teach. I want to be a doctor or nurse or something medical. I don't even know what you have to do to become something like that, Samson said honestly. I don't either, George said, but I figure you need big piles of money, about 1,000,000 years to spend in college. Hassan and Ahi are going to Howard University in D.C., Ramik commented, but their folks have a little cash. He fell silent. I think it would be cool to go into business, Samson said. Become an entrepreneur and own some big company. He sounded a little vague. What kind of business is there around here, except for drugs and crime? George asked bitterly. Show business, Ramik told him. We can be rap stars. Yeah, right. You need money even to do that, Samson told him. Samson drove the other two home. then their hopes and dreams left in the spotlight. The next day at school, bored and restless, Ramik, George, and Samson sat in the back of their math class making smart remarks and funny noises. The teacher looked up in exasperation. "You three clowns plan to make jokes the rest of your life?" she asked. "Maybe," Samson replied. "You want to get out of this class?" "Now, that's no baby. That's a definite yes," George answered, laughing. "Then the three of you get out of here. Colleges come to this school every day looking for good students, and you three jokers let it all pass you by." "College?" Ramik mumbled. "Too hard, too long, too much money." But he was interested, despite what he said. "Right now, there's a presentation about Seton Hall University in the library. Go check it out," the teacher suggested. "Anything to get out of here," Samson said with a grin. The three of them got their books and headed out of the classroom, having no intention of going to the library. "Let's go shoot some hoops, man," Amy suggested. "I'm with you, brother," the other two replied. The three of them ran gleefully through the empty halls toward the gym. "Where are you going, gentlemen?" The principal's loud, authoritarian voice boomed behind them. They stopped and turned. The library," George said, thinking quickly. "The library is that way," the principal said without smiling. She pointed down the other hall. "Thanks, ma'am," Samson said as the three turned and headed back to the library. "We got lost." George and Ramik stifled their laughter. "If you're looking for the Seton Hall presentation, it's just beginning," the principal told them. She walked with the three boys to the library, then stood by the door, listening to the presentation herself for a few minutes. "We're stuck," Samson thought as the three of them found seats at a back table. George said nothing. He had turned his attention to the speaker at the front of the room. "This sounds interesting." "I am from Seton Hall University," the speaker began, "and we have a special program that some of you might find appealing. Did you know that there is a vast need for minorities in the health professions? Did you know that in this city alone, people have to wait for hours to see a doctor because there are not enough doctors on staff at the hospitals to see them?" Samson thought back to the day the stone fell on his foot and how the doctor with the magical x-rays had helped him heal properly. Ramik thought back to the many times he had been taken to the emergency room for various scrapes and bruises. George thought back to his many visits to the dentist and how fascinating the whole process had been for him. "Seton Hall University," she continued, "is dedicated to training more minority students to enter medicine, not as aides and orderlies, although those are important jobs, but as doctors." She paused for effect. George felt his heart beating faster. Could this be the chance he was looking for? The answer to the questions he didn't even know how to ask? "The Pre-Medical, Pre-Dental Plus program," she said, "is committed to help you prepare for study in a medical, dental, or other health-related field. It is funded by the State of New Jersey's Educational Opportunity Fund." George raised his hand. "So how much does it cost?" "Tuition and basic costs are covered. That's why this program is so selective and so worthwhile." "You mean it's free?" he asked incredulously. "Nothing is completely free, but we've got you covered for the large part of it," she replied with a laugh. George sat there with a look of disbelief and possibility on his face. He asked another question. "How long does it take?" "The program is a 4-year undergraduate degree program. Students must study a science major in the College of Arts and Sciences at Seton Hall University." "So I can be a doctor in 4 years?" Ramik asked half jokingly. "4 years is just the undergraduate part," she replied. "Medical or dental school is another 4-year program, plus additional years of study after that." "That's an awfully long time," Ramik said, sitting down with defeat on his face. You'll be 4 years older whether you go to college or not. Why not fill up those 4 years with something valuable? She shot back. Ramik looked thoughtful, but said nothing. George thought back to Miss Johnson, who had said almost the exact same thing to him way back in third grade. The Seton Hall representative continued. You will receive academic, career, and personal counseling. An advisor will help you plan coursework in preparation for advanced level science courses. Some of that stuff is really hard. Suppose a person messes up, Sampson asked. Tutoring in key science disciplines is offered at least 2 times per week, more if you need it. You're never alone. You have folks there who want to see you succeed. Is it guaranteed that we will get into medical and dental school after undergraduate studies? Sampson asked. Pretty much, but you have to do well and work toward good grades. Indeed, George mumbled. He was swallowing every word, his excitement building as he continued to describe this unbelievable opportunity. Is it hard to get into the program? The student asked. You have to have the grades, teacher recommendations, a personal interview, SAT scores, that sort of thing. But mostly, you have to have the desire. Anything you want badly enough, you can achieve. Sampson and Ramik looked doubtful, but George's face was full of excitement. In addition, the woman said, a 7-week summer program offers students courses in college-level chemistry, mathematics, and writing. These courses facilitate the transition to studying at the college level. Students earn up to 7 undergraduate credits in the summer program. Summer school? On purpose? Ramik looked doubtful. We find it really helps. The students get to know each other, learn about life on a college campus, and learn study skills that they might have skimmed over in high school. Sampson looked at George and Ramik. The 3 of them were used to getting good grades with very little effort. Real studying and hard academic discipline were foreign to them. The woman from Seton Hall finished her presentation, then handed out packets that included the application for the program. The students filed out slowly. George, Ramik, and Sampson stayed behind, not worrying about being late to the next class. What do you think? George asked the other 2. It's all right, Ramik said without conviction. I still would rather go to Howard with Hassan and Ahi. Sounds like a possibility, Sampson added, but I got to keep my options open. Besides, I still want to play college baseball, and I don't know much about their sports program. But George would not give up. Hey, look, I really want to do this. I think we could all do this, the 3 of us, together. Maybe, Ramik said slowly. It's an awfully long time, Sampson said with a sigh. Man, we can go to college for free, George said, trying to convince them. Free is always good, Ramik said with a grin. What do we have to lose? Let's just do the application and see what happens, George suggested. Yeah, man, why not? Sampson told the others. Let's go for it. Ramik added, can't hurt anything. Who knows, this might turn out to be a good thing. They stuffed the applications into their backpacks and headed off to their next class. None of them was aware that their futures were enclosed in a folder stuffed between a peanut butter sandwich, a chemistry lab homework assignment, and a pair of dirty gym shoes. A conversation with Dr. George Jenkins. The beginning of the pact. Thinking back to that presentation in the library makes me smile. What started out as 3 high school boys skipping class turned out to be the most significant event in our lives. If we had made it to the gym that day instead of the library, more than likely the streets would have swallowed us in the next few years. We never would have become doctors. Everything we needed to start on the road to success was included in one 45-minute presentation, and we almost missed it. This was the first time that a path to my dreams was shown to me. Deep inside, I knew I could accomplish anything if given the chance. I just didn't know how to find the opportunity. That presentation showed me the possibility of reaching goals I had only dared to dream about. I think if a person dreams hard enough, sometimes a door will open up to make that dream come true. Of course, it helps to be prepared to go through the door when the opportunity arises. We almost missed it. We also had no idea that day that we were forming a pact that would last a lifetime. We just knew that somehow each of us individually might fail, but the strength